While you may have trouble telling twins apart, did you know that the twin rate is actually growing? Here are 11 surprising facts about twins. Number 11, twins can be born years apart. This is pretty odd and controversial, but there are sets of twins that are not the same age, and I'm not talking about some New Year long labor thing either. This has been done many times, but one of the biggest age differences is between Reuben and his sister Florin. The two were from the same group of embryos. Reuben was born out of those, but little embryo Florin was frozen for 5 whole years after her brother was born. The two tried for years to have a child but were unable, so they had an ICSI, which is similar to test tube babies. They had 5 embryos but only 2 were implanted. Reuben arrived on December 9, 2006, but 4 years later they decided they wanted another, and defrosted one of the remaining embryos. This was incredible and marked one of the first known twins born more than a year apart. Some argue that this technology could bring healthier babies, as twins are usually harder to carry and give birth to. Both of these twins were born at least 8 pounds. Most twins can hardly reach 6 pounds. The two have a good relationship, but it is unknown as to whether their relationship will be like that of most twins or if they will live like regular siblings from different sets of embryos. Number 10, they have different fingerprints. When you hear identical, you may think identical, but there is one thing that is never the same in twins: their fingerprints. They may share DNA, but they are not identical cell for cell. Not everything about you is decided by your genes after all. Fingerprints are formed pretty randomly, actually. It occurs when the fetus develops in the womb and is affected by fluctuations of hormone levels. This is the same thing that doesn't allow twins to have the same freckle patterns or moles. This is why no one has the same fingerprint in theory. It's because it's all random. Imagine throwing 1 million different numbers into a pot. How likely is it that you'll fish out the exact same combo as someone else? This doesn't work the same way as DNA structure does, allowing twins to appear identical. Number 9, more celebs than you think are twins. The trouble of having a twin is being mistaken for them all the time, but there are some twins that we can still tell apart. Sure, we all know that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are twins, and we know Dylan and Cole Sprouse are twins, but there are more celebs than you'd think that have another biological half. For example, Scarlett Johansson has a twin brother Hunter. He was once a campaign advisor for President Obama. Ashton Kutcher has a twin brother named Michael. He was diagnosed with cerebral palsy as a child and had a heart transplant at 13. The two seem very close. A few more, Aaron Carter has a twin sister named Angel. Jon Heder or Napoleon Dynamite has a twin brother Dan that looks nearly identical to him and works behind the scenes in his movies. Vin Diesel has a hairier brother named Paul Vincent. All of this may be too much for you to take, so I'll stop there. You'll thank me later as you scroll through Google looking at other celebrity twins. Number 8, mothers of twins live longer. Studies show that women who deliver twins live longer. Many doctors will say that this doesn't mean that having twins makes you healthier, but rather being healthier makes you have twins. Basically, healthier women are more likely to have twins. It was first believed that this was the opposite of the most likely outcome, since giving birth to twins is such a hassle and hard on the body. But that would make sense as to why only healthy women are given twins, because they can handle it. So it isn't that giving birth to twins makes you live longer, but people who have twins would have lived longer even without having twins. So it's just a sign of longevity. Studies from back in the 1800s showed that women who had twins or were pregnant with twins were more in shape and physically fit than those who only carried one child at a time. Number 7, twins can have different fathers. This may shock you, but on multiple occasions, twins have been known to have different fathers. It's so common, in fact, that it has its own name, superfecundation. This means that the twins were conceived at different times. This could be the same father, but it implies that it is not, since the term rarely comes up when there is only one possible father. When referring to 2 different fathers is technically called heteropaternal superfecundation. They are conceived on the same cycle for the female, but will have different fathers and actually different due dates, though of course they are still born the same day. I mean, if one of them is getting out, the other will tag along. But what's interesting is that they have 2 separate sets of DNA. They can even be different races. One African American with curly dark hair and one Japanese with super straight hair. This actually has happened before, and it's somewhere between a miracle and an oops if one of the twins comes from a monogamous relationship. Number 6, they're more likely to be left-handed. Left-handedness is always less common than right-handedness, but left-handedness is also more common in twins and those with disabilities or birth defects than your average child. About 10% of the overall population are left-handed. However, about 17% of twins are left-handed. A fairly significant increase. It usually occurs when only one of the twins is left-handed. Pairs of twins, when one is left-handed and one is right-handed, makes up about 1 in 5 sets of twins. This is most likely the cause of mirror twins, or twins that are mirror images of each other. In this case, one of them would be left-handed and another would be right-handed, but it is possible that one of them would switch to being right-handed without anyone noticing when they notice their twin using their right hand. This is especially true since twins have a special connection that separates them from the rest of us. Number 5, 2 twins' kids will be siblings. This may be hard to take in, but let's say there's a set of twin boys and a set of twin girls. They grow up, find each other, and one boy marries one of the girls and the other marries the other girl. Stay with me. Both sets of twin couples have kids. This is where things get tricky. Each child has obvious siblings. Their parents' siblings' kids are their first cousins genetically, right? That's what the law says anyway, but their DNA is identical to their full genetic siblings. If a DNA test was done, it would be hard for anyone to tell whose kids were whose. Identical twins share the exact same genetic material, so this material is the same for each couple. They may have different names, personalities, likes, and dislikes, but on the inside they have the same genetic makeup and are biologically identical. The sets of DNA for the parents are the same, thus their kids share the same DNA as well. If these couples have twins, it only makes things that much more complicated. Number 4, mothers of twins are taller. It's not exactly true that every mother of a twin is taller than every mother who doesn't have twins, but it is true that taller women are more likely to have twins than shorter women. Taller women have more of an insulin-like growth factor that has been directly linked to the birth of twins and the ability to carry them. This may have something to do with healthier women having twins. A study was done to prove this, and it was shown that on average, those who had twins were at least an inch taller than those who had one child. The factor that causes this is a protein that the liver releases in response to growth hormones. For this reason, countries with taller women are more likely to have twins than those with shorter women. This is why the highest twin rate is in Africa and the lowest is in Asia. This fact may not be crucial, but it sure is interesting. Number 3, you may be able to induce twins. If you want to have twins but aren't tall, then there may be ways to induce or at least increase your chances of having twins. First of all, change your diet. The healthier your body, the more likely you'll have twins. Plus, there is one food group that is shown to really up the ante here, and that is dairy. There is no scientific evidence behind this yet, but it seems to be consistent so far. Eating oysters is also a great way to increase your chances due to the zinc in them. On that note, green leafy veggies, whole grains, seeds, and wheat germ are great additions. Also, being older, African American, or having other children all increase your odds of having twins. Number 2, they interact differently. Studies show that twins interact with each other in the womb. This gives them advanced communication skills at birth, but also a strong connection to each other. After birth, they automatically start developing their own language. It is proven that about 40% of all twins will work on this language for years. There's no doubt they have a special connection, but when a pair of conjoined twins claim to hear each other's thoughts, taste each other's food, and have an innate psychic ability, things got real. Most twins will admit to some sort of connection they can't explain. Just ask them. Number 1, twin rate is growing. The rate of twins is steadily increasing. In the US alone, it has reached a record high. In 2014, 34 in every 1,000 births were twins. However, the birth of triplets is dropping. This could likely be due to artificial means of contracting babies, although many are still natural births. The rate around the world was 62.9 twin births for every 1,000 women in 2014. This could mean that in the coming years, before we know it, 1 in 10 births will be twins. That's really high. Imagine in 100 years, everyone having their own twin, and roles are reversed where the weird ones are the ones who are born alone. That's some sci-fi stuff right there. Only 1 in 10 births are singletons. Are you one of these sad individuals? Well, join us at bornwithoutatwin.com and find your platonic match now. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. I'm Amber, and I'll see you next time on Peachy Planet.